Hello everyone, my name is Syafiq and Harjianto, and today I'll be discussing about connection between C-test and reading skill. This presentation will discuss how C-test will be a tool for the language assessment and how it relates to reading skills, to test the reading skills. And now let's get into the part 1. So what is C-test? C-test or cloze test is a language assessment tool designed to measure overall language proficiency of the tester. It is based on principle of reduced redundancy, which is mean proficient users can restore missing parts of a text using their knowledge of a language and context. And C-test developed as a simplified form of the cloze test. So what does a C-test look like? C-tests usually compose of 4 to 6 short texts, and each short text will have 60 to 100 words. In each text, the second half of every second word is deleted. So the test takers must fill in the missing parts to make the text complete. And this is the example of a C-test. So what is the purpose of C-test? C-test is to measure, first of all, C-test to measure general language proficiency quickly and reliably. Second is to assess learners' reading and comprehension skills. And third, to evaluate vocabulary, grammar, and contextual understanding in integrated way. So what is connection between C-test and reading skills? The C-test mirrors the natural reading process. Readers often read the context to fill missing information. Readers often rely context to fill in missing information. Strong reading skills equals to higher ability to complete C-test accurately, and both involve first using contextual clues, second predicting and reconstructing meaning, third integrating syntax, semantics, morphology, etc. Therefore, C-test performance reflects overall reading proficiency. What reading skills the C-test can assess? Test reading comprehension through text restoration. Assess the ability to first infer meaning from context, second recognize word forms and grammatical patterns, third understand sentence structure and coherence, four encourage top-down reading strategies where readers can predict the meaning from partial information. So, what is the effectiveness of C-test? First, C-test provides a quick and reliable measure of general reading ability. Second, strongly correlates with reading comprehension tests. And third, reflects real reading process, such as predicting and interfering meaning. 4. Has a useful for placement and diagnostic purpose in language programs. And what is the weakness of C-test? C-test does not assess all reading subskills, for example, like scanning, skimming, and critical reading. In context, has context loss due to deletions can make text artificial or confusing, like maybe some words that have the same alphabet from the start, but it can be meaning different. And third, it may favor advanced learners who already know the vocabulary. And four, focus on written comprehension only, not only oral or interactive reading skills. Now let's get into part 2, the case study of using C-test. First, introduction. A C-test is a language assessment tool to evaluate reading comprehension, vocabulary, and grammar. It consists of text where the second half of every second word is missing, and students are asked to restore the missing parts. This case study focused on 30 intermediate level students preparing for their final assessment. The objective of the C-test is to develop C-tests suitable for intermediate level students to assess overall language proficiency through reading, grammar, and vocabulary. And third, to provide a scoring guide and justification for the test design. First is the environment. Many people around the world are learning how important it is to protect the environment. Pollution, cutting down, then, oh, this is an example of the full text of C-test, and this is how the C-test looks like. You need to fill the blank words in here. And this is about the technology, explaining, and this is also an example of C-test questions, and this is the example. So how to score guide? How to score? We have 1 point. The missing word is fully correct, spelling and meaning. 1.5 point for the word is partially correct, meaning is correct but spelling slightly wrong, and 0 point for incorrect word or left blank. And this is the percentage of scoring guide. 90 to 100% is advanced, 70 to 89% is upper intermediate, 50 to 69% is intermediate, and below 50% will be below intermediate. So why we use this text? Topics are familiar and relevant to intermediate students. Texts are more challenging enough to test vocabulary, grammar, and context. So why use C-test? We use C-test because we want to measure overall language proficiency, reading, vocabulary, and grammar. And then we want to see the objective and quick to score compared to essays. C-test has more challenging than multiple choice since students must list the words from the context. Tests real language processing ability, not just memorization. So the conclusion is C-test provides a reliable method to assess English proficiency of intermediate level students, encourage learners to use context clues, vocabulary knowledge, and grammatical awareness, can be applied efficiently for a large group and scored objectively. And that's it everyone for my presentation. Thank you and see you.